In the tapestry of Greek myth, where gods and mortals intertwined in a dance of desire and consequence, nestled the kingdom of Sparta. Here, beneath a sky eternally kissed by the Aegean sun, King Tyndareus, a man of granite jaw and unwavering justice, held dominion. His queen, Leda, possessed a beauty that rivaled the dawn, her every movement a silent poem etched in grace. Yet, a yearning flickered within her, a yearning for a life that transcended the gilded cage of the palace. One spring, unlike any Sparta had ever witnessed, descended upon the land. The heavens turned the color of bruised grapes, and a storm, a tempestuous beast given monstrous form, roared across the kingdom. The scent of ozone hung heavy in the air, a metallic tang that prickled Leda's skin. Wind howled like a banshee, tearing at the palace gates with a sound like ripping silk, while rain lashed down in sheets, transforming the once pristine gardens into a muddy labyrinth. Leda, seeking solace from the storm's fury, wandered into the palace gardens, her heart mirroring the tempestuous weather. Pomegranate trees, their blossoms the color of spilled blood, swayed precariously in the wind, their once vibrant petals scattering like crimson confetti upon the soaked earth. As the storm reached its crescendo, a bolt of lightning, a jagged white scar across the inky sky, illuminated the heavens with a blinding flash. A deafening crack of thunder followed, splitting the air like a ripped tapestry. Leda, fearing the wrath of the gods, huddled beneath a weeping willow, its branches thrashing wildly against the onslaught of the wind. A gasp escaped her lips as a vision of unparalleled beauty unfolded before her. A swan, its feathers the color of moonlight woven with spun silver, descended from the storm-racked sky. It crash-landed gracefully in the palace pond, sending ripples that disturbed the already churning water. A tremor of fear ran through Leda, yet the swan's regal bearing, a silent command that resonated within her very soul, quelled it. With a slow, deliberate movement, the swan emerged from the water, shaking its glistening feathers free of the storm's fury. As Leda held her breath, the swan, defying the very laws of nature, began to speak. Its voice, a melody woven from the tinkling of wind chimes and the crashing of waves upon a distant shore, washed over her. "Fear not, Leda," it cooed, its voice a caress against her racing heart. "For I come not with malice, but with desire." Startled yet strangely captivated, Leda listened as the swan revealed its true identity: Zeus, the king of the gods himself. He confessed his overwhelming yearning for her, a desire that burned hotter than the fires of Mount Etna and could only be quenched by their union. Leda's mind was a whirlwind of turmoil. To deny a god was unthinkable, a transgression that could unleash the fury of Olympus itself. Yet, to betray her vows to Tyndareus, the man who had cherished her since the spring of her youth, and the man whose loyalty she held dear, was a terrifying prospect. Zeus, sensing her turmoil, wove a tapestry of promises so exquisite, so alluring, that they threatened to unravel the very fabric of her resolve. He spoke of a child she would bear, a daughter unlike any other, a mortal woman touched by the divine spark. A beauty that would eclipse the moon, that would cause men to fall to their knees and kingdoms to crumble at her feet. This is the destiny he offered, a destiny that shimmered like a mirage in the desert of her ordinary life. Overwhelmed by the sheer audacity of Zeus's desires and the prospect of such a unique destiny for her child, a future both exhilarating and terrifying, Leda yielded, a wave of surrender washing over her. Days turned into weeks, the storm of fading memory replaced by the gentle caress of a returning spring. Leda, shrouded in secrecy, carried a burden heavier than any crown. The weight of her choice pressed upon her like the cool marble floor beneath her feet, a constant reminder of the extraordinary events that unfolded. Then, one moonlit night, under a sky dusted with a million twinkling stars, a marvel unfolded. Unlike any mortal woman before her, Leda did not give birth in the usual way. Instead, from her womb emerged a luminous egg, its surface as smooth and flawless as polished marble. Inside, a heartbeat pulsed, a rhythm both human and divine, a testament to the extraordinary union that had brought it forth. Trembling with awe, Leda cradled the egg in her arms. A warmth radiated from within, pulsing with an otherworldly energy. Slowly, with the grace of a blooming flower, the egg began to crack. A tiny hand, perfect and delicate, emerged, followed by another, then a head crowned with raven hair as dark and lustrous as a moonless night. Leda's breath caught in her throat as she gazed upon the most beautiful child she had ever seen. Her daughter's eyes, the color of twilight infused with stardust, held a wisdom beyond her years, a wisdom that seemed to echo the storm she had witnessed during her conception. Was it a flicker of darkness within them, a foreshadowing of the chaos to come? News of Helen's birth spread through Sparta like wildfire fanned by the breath of a god. Whispers turned into shouts of wonder as people marveled at the girl's celestial beauty. Poets, their quills fueled by divine inspiration, penned epics singing of her lineage that stretched to the heavens. Sculptors, their chisels trembling with the audacity of capturing such perfection, attempted to translate her ethereal beauty into cold, unyielding marble. Yet their creations, no matter how exquisite, could only capture a shadow of Helen's true brilliance. As Helen grew from a babe swaddled in silk to a young woman whose laughter echoed through the palace halls, a subtle shadow lurked behind her enchanting smile. The knowledge of her extraordinary birth, a secret whispered amongst the palace staff and passed down in hushed tones, filled her with a sense of isolation. Unlike other children who played carefree in the palace gardens, Helen was constantly aware of the weight of her destiny. The knowing glint in the eyes of court ladies, the hushed reverence with which she was addressed, it all served as a constant reminder that she was different. One day, while exploring the labyrinthine corridors of the palace library, a haven filled with the scent of aged parchment and the promise of forgotten knowledge, Helen stumbled upon a weathered leather-bound scroll. Curiosity, a flame ever flickering within her, urged her to untie the crimson ribbon that bound it shut. As she unfurled the scroll, a gasp escaped her lips. The scene depicted was both captivating and unsettling. There, immortalized in vibrant pigments, was Zeus, transformed into the majestic swan she had heard stories about, intertwined with a beautiful woman. A woman with familiar eyes, a woman with the same raven hair that cascaded down her own back, her mother, Leda. A chill ran down Helen's spine as the truth, sharp and undeniable, slammed into her. The whispers, the veiled glances, the reverence bordering on worship, it all made sense now. Helen was not just a princess of Sparta, she was a living embodiment of a god's desire, a constant reminder of her mother's transgression. Tears welled up in her eyes, blurring the image on the scroll. Though gifted with beauty beyond compare, a part of her longed for normalcy. She was a constant reminder of a forbidden love, a living paradox, a mortal touched by the divine, yet forever ostracized by it. This realization, bitter and sweet, would forever color Helen's perception of the world and shape the destiny that awaited her, a destiny that would embroil Greece in a war that would echo throughout the ages, a war ignited by the very beauty that both blessed and burdened her. The tale of Helen of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships, was not merely a story of beauty, it was a story of the burden of divinity, the weight of expectation, and the devastating consequences of a single, forbidden encounter between a god and a mortal. Thank you for watching. Please comment below what you would like to see next.